The reason why you haven't been able to stop drinking, because deep down you still believe that alcohol is something to offer you in life. But what if I told you that that belief that you hold on to is the prison and alcohol is the executioner? Because I want to destroy that lie and build you a new identity. There'd be many days where I'd come home from work tired and stressed out, and I'd be like, oh, fuck, grab that first drink and it's like a reward. I used to tell myself that I deserved it, that I was just taking the edge off. But, 1 became 2, became 4. And then next morning we wake up, got the guilt, got the shame, and that zero drive where you just can't be fucked anymore. And that cycle repeats over and over and over again, because alcohol in itself doesn't actually relieve stress. It delays growth, steals your passion, and really makes you somebody that you don't want to be. Because relief isn't freedom, it's sedation. You're just being sedated and dragged out of your life with alcohol. There'd be other times in my life where I'd be like, I'll just have 2 drinks today. Fucked it up, and then it ended up having 8 drinks, 10 drinks, to just drinking all night. I'd lie to my wife, and then I'd avoid the eye contact. And then the next morning you'd wake up and you pretend not to remember. Oh, you did. And fuck, so did she. So every night that you tell yourself that you're doing controlled drinking, you're just lying to yourself, because every controlled drinking night ends up in the illusion of moderation. Because it's not just about how much you drink, it's about why you're drinking in the first place. There'd be times where the kids would be like, why do you always have a beer in your hand? Why are you always drinking? Or daddy always drinks. But you'd brush it off. We'll laugh and go, yeah, it's all right. But I used to feel embarrassed, weak and ashamed, because in that moment, I saw that I was becoming the man that I said that I never was going to become. But I did. I became everything that I swore it'd never be. Because alcohol, the cost isn't just physical. The cost isn't just money. The cost can be the look that people will give you, that your family give you. And you lose your power, you lose your virility, you lose your leadership. Because every drink that you're chipping away at your leadership. We always drink to celebrate birthdays, holidays, good days, bad days, any day. And you'd look forward to those moments so that you could just get the drink in you and go away. You'd tell yourself this is living. But then the next day you'd wake up feeling like this is fucking dying, because you weren't celebrating, you're just escaping again. And that's the thing. Alcohol isn't for celebration, it's for escaping, for not dealing with life on life's terms, not dealing with what's in front of you. It's from running away and hiding like a little bitch. But there's an alternative, because what happens when you're stuck in that cycle? You drink, and then you feel guilty. So then you drink again. Then you regret that drinking, and then you repeat that cycle over and over and over again, and you're constantly stuck in this cycle of trying to outrun the shame, guilt, and fear. You can't. And then what happens? Over the years, alcohol becomes the punishment dressed up as pleasure. We punish ourselves because we're stuck in a cycle that we can't get out of. And that's where it's like, well, it's so hard to stop drinking, because you're stuck in that cycle, but then you stop and the cycle's still going, and you're still in that vicious cycle, and you still haven't fully embraced the idea that alcohol isn't the answer, that alcohol's got something to offer still. But once you recognize that everything that you want is on the other side of sobriety, then you can start to get it. Because it's not until you start to change your identity and stop trying to not drink and change your mindset to someone that doesn't drink, that's when you can rewire your rituals, your mindset, and your stories, and the way that you live your life. Because we all know that you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your self-image and your standards. So it's about getting standards, getting non-negotiables in your life, and getting the behaviors that you want, and build them on belief, and start to just do it over and over and over again, so it does become habitual. Because it's important that you rewire the narrative in your life, because until I said that I was no longer a drinker, I was still stuck in that loop of fighting it, that white knuckle fear of, will I drink, won't I drink, blah, 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 blah. Because the person that is a non-drinker is not in that cycle. But if you still believe on some level that you're a drinker, you're always going to be wrestling with that. So you really need to start to think, I am not a drinker anymore. Don't drink. That's not who I am anymore. And put that version of yourself to rest. And then you start to get some new structures in your life. You get some morning structure. You get a brotherhood of men around you that'll help you. Get some tools that, well, you can use when the craving comes in. And then start to rewrite your story. Become the leader of your life. Become present in your life. And then over time, you'll find the peace in your life. I want you to ask yourself, what lie do you still tell yourself about alcohol? Because for me, every now and again, I get a little voice that says, "Oh, it'd be nice to have a drink." No matter how long ago I drank, it's still there. Still pops up every now and again. But that's okay, because that's a lie. Because I know what drinking did to me. And I know where drinking will take me, and I see where drinking takes other people. So even though I see all that and I know all that, I still have that fucking voice every now and again. And that's when, if you're not, I guess, consistently thinking about the direction of your life that you want to go on, the person that you want to be, it can become quite easy to slip back into that old pattern. And that's why it's important that you have some structure and you have some things in your life to make sure that little voice is just a little voice that you can go, yeah, fuck off. And another thing I want you to think about, start to think about, who do you want to become when the bottle's gone? What sort of man do you want to be when you're sober? And start being that man. Start living as though you are that man, because you are that man, even though you might be drinking now. That man doesn't drink. The more that you start to step into that identity and that person, the more you will become that person. And the more that you become that person, the more the drinking will just slip away. They say fake it till you make it, but you're not faking it, because you are a good bloke with lots to offer the world that doesn't have to hide in the bottom of a bottle. And if you're still watching this now, there's fire inside of you, because you're not broken. You've just been stuck believing the bullshit. And I want you to start to believe that you can be the man that you swore you'd become, not the man that hides behind a fucking bottle. I invite you to watch the free training below, book a call and see how I can help you. Join the Brotherhood, because alcohol does nothing but pain. Alcohol offers nothing but pain. And the identity of sobriety offers everything that you've been searching for. Everything starts the moment you stop drinking. Kickthepiss.com.